Hey guys, welcome back for What If Izuku Midoriya was in Freddy Fazbear's Part 2. Let's get into it. It was the day after Midoriya found out he got the job for Five Nights at Freddy's Pizza. He was happy, even thrilled. He could barely get a wink of sleep, which was mostly through the day as he had to be there by 11 to make sure he got the keys from Henry. As his rest of his day was uneventful, let's skip to that. It just turned 11. Izuku Midoriya just got dropped off from his mother, who returned home, who promised to pick him up at 6. As he was walking towards the store, he saw a familiar figure step out. It was Henry. As Henry started looking towards his direction, he said, "Ah, Izuku, I'm glad you can make it. You've got a bit of time. I've closed up early for you, to look around." "Well, thank you, Mr. Henry. No problem, kid. And, wow, uniform suits you." "Thank you, sir. I think it suits me too," as he adjusted his hat forward. "Well, I'm glad you liked it. Anyway, I hope you learnt about the pizzeria's history so far." "I did a bit of research about it, sir, but not too much. I was kind of busy sleeping today." "Well, that's no biggie. I'll inform you on a later date, okay? Remember, before I go, I left you some recordings from the previous night guard. He's finishing his last week up, actually. Well, he was one before you, but anyway, I don't know where he disappeared to. He was on his, if I'm correct, he left on Thursday, but he didn't give me a call or anything. And I would give you the spare key, but as you know, it was on him," Izuku finished the sentence off. "Yeah, so you're going to be stuck there, kid. Just for 6 hours. Don't worry, you'll be just fine. Anyway, I've got to go, kid. I've got a nice dinner waiting for me at home," as he rubbed his hands together. "And the TV is calling for me," as he gave him a smile. "Anyway, kid, don't stress about it. You'll do just fine," as he put his hands on his shoulders. "Anyway, and you got a phone number? And mine. Need anything else? Call me." He said, "Well, okay, I'll do that, Henry." "There you go, kid. Taking away the formalities." Before he could reply, Henry burst out laughing. "It's fine. I've been asking for you to do it the whole entire time. Don't worry. Well, anyway, I'm going to be heading off now. You have a nice night, Izuku," as he locked the door behind as Izuku stepped in. "See you tomorrow," as he walked off and got into his car. Izuku, looking around, went through the main entrance. What he saw first, well, was the dining room, with the 3 stars standing there as the night prior. Chica, Bonnie, and Freddy. Seems like they haven't moved an inch. Which obviously isn't true, as he'd heard from his mother that Freddy Fazbear's is quite popular, even if it isn't compared to its previous date years ago. But before he can continue down his office, something caught his eye. It was a room. It said backstage, employees only. Izuku seen no reason at all. He chose that to be the first place he'd look. Little did he know he'd find something there quite disturbing on a later date. But I digress. That's for us to see later and for him to find out. As Izuku pulled out his keys, which, mind you, he does have keys for inside employee doors, but he doesn't have lock keys or anything, so he can't unlock doors from the outside. So, bathroom keys, he's got that and all that. So, let's carry on. As he findled through the keys, he said, "So let's see. Male's bathroom key, back door key. Huh. We don't have this doesn't have a back door," as he rubbed his chin. Anyway, Old Man's Jenkins key. Who's Old Man Jenkins? Woman's bathroom key, closet key. Let's see. I need to look closer. Male key. Well, I'll be saving that for later. Here. Backstage employees only key. What a long name, he mumbled to himself. As he opened the door, the first thing that greeted him was, well, dust-filled air. Obviously, no one's been in this area for quite some time. And the lights were, well, mostly all off except from the illuminative LED light of the employee sign. Failing to see a light switch or anything above him, Izuku just must have thought, well, I guess the lights must have been blown. But he shrugged that off, as a bit of darkness wouldn't scare him. What really scared him was the 8-foot metal skeleton sitting on a table, which he had no idea how it was being held up. But he had more important things to worry about. As he went past the door, he saw 5 heads. 2 Freddy heads, 1 Chica and 2 Bonnie, one of them knocked over, with an additional 2 Bonnie heads on another shelf and 1 on the table. Man, as he talked to himself, these are creepy. As he picked up one of the masks, got a bit of weight to him too, as he shaked them. As he was doing this, he failed to notice sounds in the background, as he obviously just thought echoes, from making such a noise. But he'll find that out a later date, what's happening. Anyway, as he went around the table, he saw toolkits. Well, old rusty tools, more like. The tools seemed to have had some serious damage thanks to the overuse of it. Overuse? Man, was that even a word? Overused? They've been overworked, worn over time. Yeah, I think that'd be a better suited word for the tools, which should probably, if I have to say, probably have not been replaced in years. But anyway, just carry on. After investigating the obviously abandoned rusty toolkit, he thought, well, I wonder what I'd find if I searched up around here. As he started searching around the room, he obviously looked into it with more detail, which obviously wasn't hard because the room wasn't that big in the first place. The room had faded white paint. There was wires going down the wall. The shelves seemed to be made of some metal, which was obviously used to hold up the heftiest weighted heads and suits for the animatronics, which he must have thought was easily over 100 kilograms. Easy, probably just the body alone, not minus probably a 20 kilogram additional head. As he looked around, he saw old newspaper clippings, burnt, trashed, thrown away in the bins. As he approached one, he picked up a newspaper which seemed quite faded and old, which he could tell from the browning colour of the paper. As he read it, he looked down. The bite of 87 on a news article. What's the bite of 87? As he was reading down, he could infer the information given to him that it was an incident that happened at Freddy's, Fazbear's, in the early days as it's come up at its peak. But he couldn't figure out anything more about it because more of the... as the lines that held more in detail information were ripped, cut off, or just scribbled out in general, seeing that this must have brought up bad memories, he thought to himself. Before he could delve in Before he could delve in deeper into the mystery of the newspapers, his watch beeped, showing that in this time of searching the room, an hour had passed already. Man, an entire hour already? He mumbled to himself. I gotta get to my office. And with that, he walked out after putting the papers down and closed the door. Heading down to the left hallway, past the janitor's closet, which seemed to be locked, as it's a closed door, which he did have the key to if he needed to get anything there in spare time. What the mess? As he approached his office, he sat down. And as he looked around, he seen not much had changed. Everything seemed to be the same. With the fan still spinning, obviously on low batteries, as it was barely turning at all. It's a miracle it even was at the first place. But one thing he did notice now, that the desk seemed a little bit cleared up, probably from the day shift guard, is that it obviously had a phone there now. And the phone seemed to be blinking, a reddish light, meaning a call or a message had been recorded. Izuku mumbled to himself. I wonder if this was the message Henry told me to look at. I should probably check it out. And he tapped down onto the green button, he heard this. Static. Hello? Oh.
I wanted to record a message for you to help you get settled in on your first night. I actually worked in that office before you.
While this was happening, Izuku was sitting down.
Now, as a matter of fact, so I know it can be a bit overwhelming, but I'm here to tell you there's nothing to worry about. You'll do fine. So let's just focus on getting you through your first week, okay? Let's see. First, there's an introductory greeting from the company that I'm supposed to read.
This man's voice is making me sleepy already, he thought to himself.
Welcome to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, a magical place for kids and grown-ups alike, where fantasy and fun come to life. Fazbear Entertainment is not responsible for damage to property or person. Upon discovering that damage or death has occurred, a missing person report will be filed within 90 days or as soon as property
he kept muttering to himself.
Thoroughly cleaned and bleached and the carpets have been replaced. Blah, blah, blah. Now that might sound...
Before he could continue, Izuku hit the button, seemingly quite freaked out from this call alone, which didn't even seem finished. A 90-day mission report after everything's been changed, bleached, and carpets changed? What? So pretty much he thought to himself, if I were to coincidentally die here in any way, my death wouldn't be announced since, 90 days, in 3 months, till they can clear the walls, the carpet, and get rid of any evidence. Oh, wow. He scratched his head. I think I really should have done more research on this place, he mumbled to himself. Anyway, fine. He mumbled to himself as he readjusted his hat. Honestly, what could go wrong, really, as he picked up his tablet? And after around the 3-hour mark, he started getting sleepy. And honestly, guys, I'm going to be honest with you here. Nothing really absurd's going to happen. Maybe a few laughs from you-know-who, but on the first night, animatronics don't really move, and rarely, that's usually Bonnie's job. Bonnie rarely moves on the first night, and the others almost pretty much don't do it at all. So, it's pretty much going to be a chill night. So, let's just skip to like 5 a.m. 5:30. Izuku yawned as he stood up, stretching. But little not realizing that the pad was in his lap, it fell to the ground, cluttering. Oh, man. As he reached down to pick it up, something caught his eye. It was a security cap. The same one as his, but it seemed bigger, more like for a grown man. As he reached down and he picked up the pad, he also reached down and grabbed the hat. The hat had security on the front, the same as his, of course, but something was different. It was dirty, dusty. Obviously, no one's touched it for quite a while, at least a couple months or weeks, especially with the dust on the front of it. As he picked it up and observed it closer, he saw small patches of red, but it seemed to be turning brown. Something which was once red, it seemingly faded into the cloth of the hat. Izuku, realizing this, it could be blood, but why would there be blood in a security office with steel doors? Maybe this had something to do with the mystery of Five Nights at Freddy's Pizzaplex, but he couldn't connect it with the newspapers, as it's how obviously seemed recent. He mumbled to himself. What could this be? But before he could delve in deeper, he heard a bang. Well, it's more of an echo, really, but he heard something come from the dining area. As he slowly checked the cameras of the dining area, he saw something which, honestly, was quite frightening. He saw something which, honestly, he didn't really think was possible. And thanks to that, he saw Bonnie he saw Bonnie. Bonnie the bunny standing there. As he saw this, he wondered to himself, what in the hell? As he stood up, he picked up his flashlight, walking out the security room down the left hallway, and approaching Bonnie. Bonnie seemingly not moving, not even a muscle, as if someone just picked him up and moved him there. As Izuku looked at this, he grew increasingly frightened. Hello? He called out to the pizzaplex. Is anyone here? Silence reigned in the pizzeria. I'm warning you. Come out now, he raised his voice again, hearing nothing. I'm armed, he said to himself, but while he mumbled, yeah, right, I'm not armed. Why didn't they give me a gun, he mumbled out. Man, what is going on? But before he could continue further, he heard dings. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. He heard that echoing through the pizzaplex. He looked down and he saw his watch was vibrating. It just turned 6. Huh. Well, I better tell this to Henry. And he walked to the security office through the right hallway this time, not wanting to be in eyesight of Bonnie. He went into his office and grabbed his bag. As he started walking down to the hallway again, he looked where Bonnie once was and he was gone, seemingly back on stage as if he never moved. Midoriya rubbed his eyes, thinking if he's seeing things. What? He was right there, was seemingly confused. So, as he was thinking this, seemingly confused as he kept walking to the door. As he looked up, he saw Henry outside, waving towards him. As he opened the door, after unlocking it, Henry said, "Hey kid, how was your first night?" "It was quite uneventful, Mr. Henry. Everything was okay, nothing unusual," he mumbled, as he didn't really think he should tell Henry about the massive robot. Maybe it is something in their function. He did remember something about Henry mentioning that they would be moving to make sure their servers don't lock up. So maybe it's just that, maybe part of the system. So he didn't really think it was worth bringing up to Henry. Well, anyway, that's good to hear, kid. Well, it seems your mother's here, as he pointed out to the car, which pulled up. Oh, yeah, seems to be. What's that? Yeah, she is, Henry. Well, I'll see you tomorrow, right, kid? Yeah, see you tomorrow, kid. So what am I talking about? See you tomorrow, Izuku. Yeah, you too, Mr. Henry. As Henry waved off to Izuku. He seemed uneased, he mumbled to himself. Well, must have been nothing. Well, guys, this is the end of part 2 for What If Izuku Midoriya was in FNAF. And guys, please go easy on me here. I'm still trying to shake off some rust, but I'm going to try and improve my work and thumbnails for you. Anyway, till next time, guys. Bye.